Welcome back, everyone. As I said, it was going to be a quick one. It certainly was. It almost caught us off guard there. It was that fast. We are going to be moving into enVy versus HellRaisers, our first of 5 games coming your way today. And as we said, important one really for both, because enVy, I don't think, are in a position that they would want to be in and that everyone expected them to be in, fairly far outside of the top 4. Of course, it is 4 that go through to the offline finals. And HellRaisers, they're even further behind and could really do with a couple of wins.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a game that they've got to be careful with, because HellRaisers are very experienced on this map. I mean, they've played it, what, 14 times on Train, the new Train. enVy have only played it 4 times. However, enVy did play HellRaisers on this map on Monday in Face It and won 16-3. So that was a big win.
That was a big win, which, you know, almost counteracts, you know, what the numbers might tell you there.
If you look at the teams that that enVy have beaten, they've beaten Fnatic, they've beaten Virtus Pro, and they've beaten HellRaisers on this map. So immediately they've got they've got some pedigree that they've already beaten. Like Na'Vi, strong player, Virtus Pro, sorry, massive on Train itself. They are probably one of the best teams, if not the best team of the old Train. Arguably, NIP you could throw in there, but Virtus Pro were the guys that beat them when NIP were on that crazy tear. And then, of course, well, I mean, beating Fnatic is always a good for anyone's book.
I mean, it's not a bad victory to pick up. It is. I think you can be happy with whatever team you are if you manage to take down Fnatic. But we are going to be getting into this one here pretty soonish. I think we're just waiting for a couple of the HellRaisers guys to actually get themselves ready.
What I want to see from this one is like HellRaisers. I don't know whether you saw the game against Dignitas. It was now. Anders obviously did his video. He set out his smokes. And then he talked to HellRaisers. I think it was when he went to DreamHack. We managed to catch them at the airport. So he managed to talk to them and basically showed them the guide of how to do this little wall of smoke on A. And they've pretty much ran with that. And that's their tactic now. That's their tactic. However, the game against Dignitas, and this is how the meta shifts, basically, they figured out, you know what? There's a little gap in that smoke. And AZ stands on the train just to the right-hand side, and he was picking up triple kills. He did it probably 3 or 4 times in that entire game. And if we look at the game, I think it was yesterday, maybe Sunday, I'm not too sure when it was, the same was happening. It wasn't HellRaisers that were doing it, but maybe Na'Vi actually that were doing it. And again, making the smokes, but they're not quite getting it on point. They need to go back and watch Anders' video. That's what they need to do, is see exactly where to throw that smoke, because it's the middle one that lands on the train. You'll have one either side of the train car, and then there's the one on the top. And it wasn't quite going on properly. It was just edging off to the right. So it leaves just that little gap. And you can't really see them because they're kind of in smoke, but you can see through it. It's one of those weird, awkward issues. And they got, hopefully, I mean, I tweeted them this morning and said, I hope you guys have practiced your smokes. And they're like, we haven't really had time. We're playing a lot of matches. It is just there, just to the right-hand side on the lip of that train. So we'll see whether they've actually practiced the smokes or not, whether they figured out, because I don't know who was throwing it, who's making the miss throw. I remember at DreamHack, actually, it was funny because you could see them. I think it was Adrian. Adrian physically showing them in-game live, like where to throw, what spot, like shoot. You could see him shooting the skybox. He's like, yeah, you need to throw it here.
I think at this point it's worth getting Anders on your roster, so when a new map comes out, he can just sub in for the first few rounds and give you a few smokes to do. But either way, we just saw there enVy, of course, picking up the 9th round, and no real surprises, have decided to go onto this CT side. So we'll see how they go. Yesterday, as we mentioned, were very, very even, actually, side bias on Train. It is technically a CT side of map. You expect to put up more rounds there, but that's not always the case, as we already see MBK spotting and doing a bit of damage to Angel.
Yeah, Kucha's just lurking back at Ivy, so the bomb at the moment has been dropped just near Pop Dog. Dozius and Moo are covering this one off. We've been going with Moo. Moo's what we've headed towards. I tried to get Vladislavia to tell us, but she said, watch me on Star Ladder and listen. I didn't get a chance to do that because I was casting. Didn't help me or DDK, because we were both asking the same thing. But as it stands, it's pretty much going to be a slow play. We can see they're setting up. If you look at the minimap, you can see it looks like it's going to be a B plate, the way that HellRaisers is setting up. MBK is in position, as is Happy. Shox is ready to quickly come through Z Connector.
Smokes on that lower ramp as well. Actually, a couple of shots coming in. Angel being dropped a little low, but Happy's going to be instrumental here. Oh, not. He goes down very quickly there to Dozier. They've got MBK on the upper ramp here, but they've been very aggressive here, HellRaisers, with how they're holding this side. They've pushed all the way up to the end of those train yards, and let's see if they can actually hold on to it. There's a lot of damage from Keo. Does finally finish off Dozier, but it's 1 versus 3 now. This is almost the impossible scenario for him with 30 points of health. Yes, he's got a flashbang, but he's got a Glock coming in behind him in the hands of Kucha, and that will be HellRaisers picking up a very important T-side pistol.
Nicely played there, HellRaisers. Angel hung on to the Molotov he had as well. Didn't need it. The smoke simply did its job. So Kucha's going to go straight for an AK here. Let's see whether the rest of the team follow suit. We are going to see a Galil throughout. The rest of those you could afford it. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be an ump for both Angel and Adrent. And again, the double scouts from Envy. They did the triple yesterday, didn't they, against Titan? Something we've seen more regularly. Well, Smith's got a glimpse of him bouncing twice, didn't pull the trigger.
And I actually really like the whole evolution then of, you know, a second round where we see the likes of 2 scouts coming out in there. You know, something a little bit more risky that, especially on a map like Train, can really pay off for you.
It's the follow-up as well with MBK and Shox with the double head armor. So they're with, I think they got 5.7s, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then the Deagle from Happy. So land the scout shot, tag them down to what, 29 health, and then immediately the tank with the pistol kind of goes in and tries to finish the job. And maybe, just maybe rescue themselves a rifle. It's going to be another B play they're setting up for. Both Dozier and Mouse are setting up the smokes. Here come the smokes. Kiyoshima's going to get caught out, but he's managed to hop up and over. Shox is ready.
Nade's coming down. That will slow the push, but here comes the push now on towards that bomb train, and it's Smiths that opens up the frag in here with a second as well, and MBK and Shox also combining. We see this gamble in the second round. Get yourself the 5.7s with a bit of armor. The scouts to do the damage at long range, working out brilliantly from 30 seconds on the clock. Kucha's not got a prayer. Yeah,
if you were to look at the scoreboard, you can see both Smiths and Kiyoshima both got the assists. So the scouts landed, the pistols picked up the kills. Worked out perfectly. Perfect tactic from Team enVyUS there. And they've obviously rescued themselves a couple of rifles. And you can see Kucha's just going to try and hang on to his head armor and AK. I don't think they're going to hunt him down too aggressively. Clock's going to run down, so he'll be safe with that one. But overall, that was a perfect round for Envy there.
Really, really well done. And HellRaisers, for me, you know, you've got to smoke off better there, but that's kind of the beauty of CT side on Train, that you've got so many different angles, and not just you know, left and right angles. You can go up and down a lot in that inner bomb site. I was looking for a more scientific way to describe it.
Out for this, mate.
I was looking for something a bit more scientific, which I'm sure is there, but apparently I was not intelligent enough in that moment to actually think of the words that I needed. Either way, that AK from Kucha, of course, did go through here into round 3, and that's pretty much all she wrote for HellRaisers. But Keo, I think, did spot someone just jump over there into main, so they know that someone's in there already.
Yeah, I think it was Adrian that's going to cross. He managed to catch a glimpse of him. He's obviously alerted the rest of the team. Looks like it will be yet another B play. Kucha got smoked out at Ivy, has flashed it just to sell out LOL's false sense. No, they're going to go down Pop Dog. It's going to be to the left of Shox right now as he passes Electric. Is there anybody looking? Nobody is looking at Pop Dog. Mo's about to already come through. Moo's coming through around the side. He's managed to get Adrian. Moo's going to come through the smoke, but he's running headlong into Shox with a Galil. And they're ready and waiting for that one. This could well be a carnage for Envy.
Yeah, it was a good little smoke there, actually cutting Moo basically off, and I think he was just like, well, I gotta go. Even though he had the bomb, which is obviously the least ideal scenario ever to be in, that the bomb is now in the outer courtyard and no one can really do that much about it because of the fact that they've, well, there's that AK, as I said, for Kucha, plus a Deagle and a Tech 9, but this should be fairly easily finished off here for Envy. Smiths actually did take a big chunk of damage there, but a follow-up is going to come around. Dozier has picked off Smiths, but again, this is going to be making it more expensive, but winning the round won't happen for HellRaisers. And Envy take the lead, 2-1. Nice, after the losing pistol.
Yeah, triple for Shox there. It worked well for him. That little aggressive play to push through the smoke, chase down Adrian. They knew he was around that corner. And then obviously the lucky chance that Moo just comes running through the smoke straight at him. Couldn't really miss that one, and that was the bomb lose, sadly. So Envy themselves the second round on the board on the somewhat easier CT side. We'll I do say somewhat because we've seen the very close games, the 8-7 yesterday between Titan and HellRaisers, and Penta, sorry, kind of showed that one. It's going to be a fast play from HellRaisers, though. That grenade is going to be, oh, not quite on point. They slowed down. They slowed down. Whether they heard the little bounce, I don't know, but they slowed down. That would have been 4 people from HellRaisers into it. But as you can see, Happy is ready and waiting to receive them.
Yeah, that would have been... oh, this one actually will be strong as well. Well, not as effective as I expected. Obviously, didn't catch on to many of them on the backside.
Yeah, there's one. They got a second one to come through. The second one's going over to the left. Happy's going to flash and push himself through this one. That's beautifully done. Gets 1, gets 2. Will get the 3rd as well. NBK gets the other cleanup. Really nicely played by Envy. That's how you deal with smokes when they come at you. Just flash through and go.
Perfect eco, or anti-eco really there for Envy. Not messing around. 3 of them blind and couldn't do anything to stop Happy there, really working his magic. But now it gets interesting. Now we'll see how good HellRaisers actually are on this T side. Interesting switch up that, you know, no AWPs. They're not exactly super rich at this point either, though, which is something to keep in mind for sure. But interested to see if they do go down that route. In the game yesterday, as we mentioned, between Penta and Titan, both sides both had an AWP.
Okay, it looks like... No, Moose decided to go. I was going to say, it looks like they may be going to try for that set A play, but instead, Moose going to move the bomb over towards there. Oh, Happy taking down Angel. The back of Brown Halls. That's not going to work out too well. So that's Dozier. But he's been left alone. He's a little wary of whether Happy is going to peek out. And this is the little switch up of aggression we've been seeing teams do. Sit back, go defensive. But Adrian's setting up to smoke, as is Kucha, so they may well go for this A play. Looks like they're going to come out of Pop Dog. There's only going to be 2 smokes, though, coming. We'll see where, yeah, I can say Kiyoshima's lined up perfectly for this one. Oh, that nade's going to finish the job. Oh, didn't throw it, didn't matter. Got the M4, and well, 2 smokes on towards the A side is not going to be enough, sadly. Envy will cut this one down. That's the bomb loose as well at Pop Dog.
And... not much smoke to work with. I want to say, where's your smokes? When you can't afford your smokes, then it makes it a little bit more difficult, but just no real opening. I think that's the difficulty of training as well, that if you don't get your smokes right, or in this case, you don't have any smokes really to throw, you've got a real tough time of actually pushing through. That Kiyoshima position on the top of the second train, and then looking down towards Pop Dog, worked out absolutely brilliantly for him.
Yeah, they just knew where they were coming from there. It seemed they read that tactic very well. Whoever's the in-game leader, actually, not too sure whether it is Happy anymore for Envy. I've heard there's been a couple of changes, been trying different things. I know Shox was in-game leader for a brief period. Whether he still is, whether they were trying things out, whether it's back on Happy's shoulders, you never really know. Of course, when they do have a little break between lands, they tend to just try out a couple of new things. Obviously, we'll see Get Right's been in-game leading instead of Exist.
What?
Well, Shox just... sometimes GoTV does show it differently. Good God, that one mid-air as well. Oh, okay, it's a triple for him. Could be. Oh, he's not. I thought he was going to get the ace. Kucha just ruined the party. Happy instead will pick that one up. So 4K for Shox, and he made that look easy.
Well, yeah, I think it was easy for the most part for him as well. I mean, not like I could pull that off against his caliber of players or something, but I mean, obviously on the eco and full-on save there for HellRaisers. Again, though, we are now going to see them back with a buy. And interestingly, to see what Moodoos here with this AWP.
We'll see where he goes. He has been a little bit of a revelation. Words are hard today, Joe. Revelation for HellRaisers. Definitely come in as a very good AWPer. Actually, I'm just going to double check his ping because... yeah, he's on 119, so he's back in Kazakhstan, I would say. I wasn't sure if they were going to be in this gaming house that HellRaisers were talking about, where they have got that sorted out in Ukraine yet. So it seems that they are not just yet, sadly, or at least Mo's not joined them, not for whatever reasons. But yeah, he's actually AWPing with 120 ping. That's...
not ideal.
It's not ideal. It's certainly not ideal in a really what you would consider or... used to talk a Twitch role, effectively, with your when you go through those flick shots. But we'll see how it works out. He's certainly come in done very well for HellRaisers as a player, as a replacement. But looks like it's going to be another A play. Set smokes coming in. Let's see how enVy deal with this one.
Well, Shox currently watching there towards the end of Ivy, but he's pushed up here and actually is in a a pretty dangerous position because he can loop around the side when he hears them coming from the other direction. Actually, he's just going to throw a quick flash out there. He's going to go all in, and he actually will manage to pick off Mo as well. So that is the bomb down. He takes out Dozier as well. Meanwhile, Happy coming from around the back. Kucha was the one of two men to get kills there, but Happy got his number, and enVy just like that say, well, you wasted a lot of time at the start of the round. You had your plan. We knew what was coming, or we certainly handled what came at us incredibly well. A 6-1, starting to get a little bit scary, to be honest, for HellRaisers.
It's interesting to see how teams deal with these set tactics. Like you said, we knew what was coming. So when there's so few tactics early on in a map, and obviously until we hit maybe even the major, ESL 1, which has just been announced, but you know, until we... Oh, MBK gunned down pretty quickly there. Oh, Happy missing the shot as well. We'll get him a second time of asking. Kiyoshima also got another one on A side. Kucha's pushed up, but until we do start seeing, you know, one of the real big money tournaments that teams feel they're going to have to sit and prepare for, we probably won't see too much innovation on Train, I don't think. I mean, it's shifting a little bit. Obviously, we're seeing Shox doing the standard, okay, you're going to smoke us off, I'm just going to flash myself through it. Or maybe just teams finding little pokey holes in it. But until that time, I don't think we're going to see any crazy new tactics coming out on Train. I think possibly the major, who knows, maybe some big tournament in the next few weeks, we'll see. Some crazy new tactics. I'm hoping so.
Pro League offline finals, for example.
Pro League offline finals would be a good point to show it. There's a lot of money up for grabs there.
Shox are just taking a kill there onto Dozier. So 2-on-2, both AWPs in action. And 9 and 8 health for Kucha and Shox respective. There is Happy going to come around the side and will simply 2v1 it. Almost looked far too easy, and that's kind of what happens when you take out the full HP guy and the other one's just one take 9 shot away from a win. 7-1 to enVy. Really commanding so far in this game. You look down the scoreboard, 12 for 3 for Shox. Happy 9 for 1. Happy had a
You'd think Happy would spread the love a little bit, wouldn't you? 15,000 while you can see 1,400 on Smiths. You'd be like, hey, buddy, do you mind spreading the love by a gun this way?
Bank.
But he's going to hit 16k in this round. I mean, well, actually, that's assuming they win the round, of course. Oh, that grenade's going to land square on Angel. Took him down to 48. NBK will back it away. Just noticed Happy's Dragon Lore name as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Dragon Lady of the Night.
That's exactly what it's called. The Dragon Lady of the Night. Yes. The beautiful tags that players use sometimes. Bomb's been left back in the, what were we calling it? The lunchroom yesterday, the dining hall. But it's on the stairs either way back there. So they're going to push through without the bomb.
Oh, Shox actually losing out this time, and he'd actually done all the work there. All the damage was basically done. Happy will also miss a shot, and he's going to get pushed here by Dozier. And one by one, enVy just falling to pieces here. And we see a little bit slower of a round once again. They get the entry frag, which makes a massive difference to them. There's a couple of people at low health. Moo's only got 5, Angel at less than 50. So this is not an impossible round for MBK, who's got 2 flashes. And he's got himself full health still to actually come back in on.
Expecting them to be pushing up on him, and instead they're letting him go. He's got himself 3. Now the bomb down, clock is ticking, he's got to make some work here. Moo's on 5 health. It's Dozier that he's got to deal with. Oh, and he's tagged him down to 11. Wow. This is now absolutely possible for MBK. He's got no time, though. He's got to really make a move here. And them stairs are going to give away his position. There's one hiding around the electric. That's going to be Moo. Dozier's going to come back around. He hasn't got the time. Spins around, fires one. He's going to have to go. He's going to stick it. He's going to come around and stick it. He hasn't got time either way. Dozier's going to go with the bomb. And you know what? MBK could have got the ace there. But, you know, just had to deal with the bomb. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen MBK picking up a crazy ace here in the Pro League either.
It was just fantastic for him. But you also have to say, when those kind of rounds happen, that it wasn't dealt with as it probably should have been by the opposition, really.
Well, he was in a 1v4, 1v5?
5, yeah.
Yeah, 1v5 from the very start. So, yeah, I mean, for HellRaisers, they're forced to Galils. That's the situation that should never happen.
No, certainly not. And there's early nades there, this time not connecting though for MBK, and he'll just launch a quick smoke out there onto that lower ramp into the inner bomb site. So that'll slow HellRaisers down for now. We can see that Dozier has already dropped down from the ladder towards Pop Dog. Shox, I like varying his position up a little bit as well, playing between electric and bomb train.
I don't recall HellRaisers going through Ivy once yet. we're on to the, 10th round. I don't recall one time where they've gone through. Whether that's just been Kiyoshima keeping them at bay or just choosing not to go there. Kucha looks like he's about to try and make his way through there. So this might be the first time they get round. Smith is going to slow them down with that molly, but they are already on the train, and it's going to be Adrian finding Smiths.
Can they get rid of Shox? So they've actually spotted him there on the bomb train itself. Happy will pick off Adrian. Well, it's interesting now how Shox will play this one. He actually gets shot in the side there, I think. Didn't really have much of a chance to get in, and that bomb is going to be planted now and leaving Envy with just 2 men alive and make that 1 as they lose Happy. MBK is going to have to clutch once again. 1 versus 4 this time, so not quite as hard.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought he was already going to be dead there. Switched out to his smoke, and this time he will be finished off. The little kill there for Kucha. 2 rounds in a row for HellRaisers.
So Kucha picks himself up a triple the first time they successfully come around that Ivy side. So 7-3. HellRaisers already match what they did on Monday against Envy on train, so I guess they're happy from that point of view. I don't know, but Kucha's definitely the one picking up the kills for HellRaisers, isn't he? 10 kills compared to just the 1 of Mao and Angel. It's a lot of work to do still for HellRaisers here, but Mao now with that Dragon Law in hand, trying to do the damage. Doesn't land the opening shot though, and immediately collects the bomb and makes his way towards B. Shox is pushing straight away. He's not going to go down. Dozier, I thought, was about to drop straight down to Pop Dog on his face, but we can see with the X-ray, of course, Mo heading over. Is he going to peek? Is he going to go for it? Our cameraman certainly hopes he is. Uh-oh. Oh,
wow.
What?
I mean, that was just the whole strafe left off the ladder and hope for the best there. And, well, he did get the best in the end. That Shox will be just completely gutted that actually that happened to him. This is interesting. Look at Angel. He snuck all the way past MBK. MBK has not heard the footsteps. He's not looking whatsoever.
Was he crouched when he went past? Because he didn't see his head. Yeah, this is... Oh. Good lord. We saw a couple of those 1-taps missing yesterday. He knows there's going to be someone around. Z-Connector doesn't find Happy, but they have his position now. They've got 1 bomb plant going in. Happy should collect that one. It will be Dozy that goes down. And now they're into a 2-on-2. Mao really needs to try and land some of these shots. I'm going to call him Moo. I keep changing to Mao. I don't know why. Chairman Mao's coming out. I'm not too sure how that's happening, but Moo's got himself a good scope through this one. Happy's going to be the one that tries to push up. This is going to be point blank AWP on Kucha. They've got to go for the defuse. The clock's ticking. They haven't got time. He's going to try and stick it. He's going to push through the smoke. Does manage to get one. Happy with the cover fire. Perfect position. Have they got the defuse? Yes, they have. And enVyUS do collect themselves the 8th round. That's 4 for Happy there. Yeah. Great retake from Envy.
And that's the important things here. I mean, coming up big just when it's looking again like HellRaisers are actually in there and will be able to hold on to it. Both deciding to go back off into brown holes. A bit of an old school defensive maneuver on train, that one, to be honest. You have one guy peek low, one guy peek upper, and by the time they've figured out where you both are, you generally with the crossfire will at least be able to kill off the diffuser and then retreat. But really well done by Envy. Some good individual play out of Happy. And that leaves a score at 8-3. So guaranteed lead for the half now for Envy. The question is just how many can they put on the board overall. Happy was just having a bit of a peek. Kiyoshima had pushed up there as well at the end of the train, and Adrian will fall down. Meanwhile, Happy takes out Angel. So really good, almost perfect start. Just a little bit of health loss here and there, but that leaves just 2 men left alive, and not looking good this round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, the AWPs are doing their work, and along with Kyo just decides to push Shox with the cover as Kyo backed up with only that 5 health. And now Dozier, the last man, with an unenviable task of trying to go in a 1v5. MBK almost managed it. Let's see if Dozier can go on better. The setup that they have would dictate that he's going to get caught out. Manages to get Shox down. Caught a glimpse. Smiths will rattle that shot down from Ivy, though. And that's going to be the 9th round on the board for enVyUS here. Starting to get themselves a really good CT side gathered up now.
Yeah, bit of a shaky period there where they lost a couple in a row, but getting past that is then the key part. And now HellRaisers all got less than 2.5k, so going to be an eco for them. And a full one almost at that. Yeah, there's a one Deagle in there and one P250 maybe just for a couple of lucky shots. Something might work out for you if you get a little lucky there. That grenade should be good. Actually, they were on the top side, so didn't get the full effect of that splash damage. Well, that could have been a different story. Well, we'll see if HellRaisers just decide to, you know, sit back and chat a little bit more for this round. They're certainly not pushing just yet.
Yeah, just 2 rounds left on the T side, and this one being the eco. You'd assume they've got one little last roll of the dice to try and get something in the next round, but as it stands, enVy keeping them at arm's length. Looks like it's going to be a push straight into the courtyard. Kiyoshima is ready and waiting, will find one and a second, and this should be easy pickings for enVy. They know exactly where they are.
Yeah, last man is going to be sat at the end of main. Actually, Dozy does manage to get the kill. He's going for the knife and realizes, I know he's going to reload before I can do that one. So decides, okay, I better not be flashy. Let's do it by the book here and flick out onto that USP. 10-3 to enVy, so up into double figures. So already a solid round, but that could end up being 12, which then puts some real pressure on HellRaisers.
So, final round of the half. What are HellRaisers?
It could be 11
do?
because I can't count.
It could be 11. Yeah, you're right. It's not the final round, is it?
No.
There's another 2 rounds to go. It's not going to work out. You're selling me a dummy as well. I was that convinced you. You convinced me.
No, I convinced myself that I was dumb and it could only be 11-3, which is only 14.
Yeah, you convinced me. I was just going along with it. But there we go.
I'm sure people at home think we're drunk, but that's not the case, I assure you.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that comment many, many, many times throughout my career, but it's not the case. Kucha, though, will get the smoke, and it lands perfectly, but he's only thrown the one.
Yeah.
And nothing else has followed it up. Shox is going to get caught out by Mo, though. This is the problem. There's the second smoke. Okay, so they've walled off Happy, but he's just going to flash himself through. Will go piling through with his banana in hand. And well, that's how you deal with it, I guess. Let's just run through. Didn't need anything else, just went straight with a 5-7.
And it's all well and good, you know, you smoke the bomb train off, so there's no Shox, basically, who's been playing that position to really cause you problems, and then you've got an AWP staring down you when you move into main. I mean, there's triple up setup right now from enVy, so if you don't get your smokes right on that outer side, chances are you're going to lose either a lot of HP or your first man is just going to die. This round, by the way, bit of a mixed bag for HellRaisers. Not got too much money to spend, but they're going to play this one aggressively. Let's see how it works, and that's how you do it. You rush down the ups, but it's not enough even. Adrian almost took out Kiyoshima. That won't work for him. It's going to be Moo and Angel to save the day, and no days were saved in that round. It is 12-3 at the half to enVy.
So Kiyoshima going with the gamble, picking himself up the triple up, and just rattle shots through the smoke, gets himself 2 kills. Well, I mean, he saw the second one, but the first one he was aiming, and you could see he was dodging it. He was doing a good dodge, dodge, but I don't think he gave Kucha the message behind him, who was just running along into it. But yeah. 12-3, enVyUS. Looks like they may match their score. If they win the pistol here, they could pick up a couple of rounds. HellRaisers, their pistol's huge for them. There's no doubt about that. You guys all know that. It's pretty Captain Obvious, honestly. But honestly, it was 16-3 last time. It may be 16-3 again.
The important thing here for HellRaisers is not just the pistol, but actually the follow-up to it as well. If we remember in the first half, HellRaisers won pistol, then we saw the double
scouts,
double 5-7 setup on that inner bomb site, which just completely wrecked HellRaisers. So we'll see this time around. HellRaisers already won that first pistol, so we know we can certainly win a pistol round or two. Question is, do they come up with the goods? MBK is basically carrying here, by the way, the 2 flashes and a smoke. And already, first shot's coming out, and it is MBK that actually will lose the first chunk of health.
Nice little bait here. Kucha trying to just say, hey, I'm here, shoot at me, come running at me, run at me. Yep, there we go. Moo just picks himself up an easy one as they run straight past. That worked out perfectly. Kucha gets himself the double on sight as well. But now Kiyoshima's picked up 2. Adrian just off the side. That's the bomb now loose. Adrian, he's pulled to the left there just for a second. And now enVyUS are just piling on through. Doji with it all to do. Hiding around Electric. Will find one on Shox. Down low. Smith's on 40 health with the bomb. He should go for the plant here, maybe. Doja going to keep on peeking. And there's little generator boxes on the train. Just waiting. enVyUS going to try and creep through once again. Now he knows. He's got 40 seconds, plenty of time to plant. He gets it down. That's the money for his team. Dozier already picked 2 up in this round. Doesn't realize he went across the Z connector. Now he's actually separated from the bomb, but the bomb plant is in a good position. Nice little move from dozier, but it doesn't work out. Smiths gets the better of him, and that will be the big important round that they needed. So, will it be 16-3? Will enVyUS run away with this one? You can see they've gone straight for 2 AKs and a Galil. And Happy going to try and collect himself some serious bounty with that SMG.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure if I agree with HellRaisers here getting 2 pieces of armor. I think full, like literally full eco this round, and then the next round you buy whatever you can from that. But maybe I'm wrong on that. We've seen certainly stranger things happening. It looks like it's going to be a fairly quick push over towards B, and the timing on that one was a little bit unlucky for Angel. I'm not sure if just after that he did see them coming on through, but all 5 men from Envy are moving towards this B site, and just looking at the positions, I don't think he did see them coming through at all, but he's done some good damage nonetheless. And in fact, NBK is going to team kill Smiths there. I don't think it's going to matter too much though. Envy pretty much mopping up here with what's left of this HellRaisers team. dozier with his hand cannon is going to try his best. One more on to Happy will do the trick. He's already gone. He's leapt off around the corner. Oh, and a nade right on his bonds. 14-3.
Yeah, a bit of a Kobe at the end there. 14-3, big score for Envy once again. Exactly what they needed in this league as well, because they were hurting for wins, but the one yesterday, the 3 at the weekend, and this one tonight, they could get themselves a second as well. Remember, they're playing Titan on Cobblestone last game of the night. Will put enVyUS in good stead. Themselves made the Pro League finals in April last time around, but got knocked out in the semi-finals by the eventual winners. So, got a little bit to prove, and don't forget there is a hell of a lot of money on the line in the Pro League. This is definitely the big money plays, and we're starting to get towards that end of the season where, you know, big money matters.
And right now, they're actually trading pretty much kill for kill, and it'll leave dozier with his trusty hand cannon, plus the scout of Angel, up against Shox and NBK, who have got a flash and a smoke to work with, an AK and a Galil in hand, and there is that Galil for NBK to pick off Angel. And now dozier, number one, really could do with picking up some kind of weapon here. He's maybe gonna...
It's the epitome of holding the angle, that is.
Yeah.
Just, no, he's not moved. Oh, he's moved
Gonna
now.
trust the Deagle here.
Juandi. That's all it takes. Well, 2 technically, because...
Well, 2 dozier, yeah. Maybe that's what he's going to think.
2D. Haha. See what you're saying. He's still going to have to go huge, though. They have 38 seconds, plenty of time. The bomb down all the way over towards main. He has got himself an M4. No armor, remember, though. Head armor on the both of them. But they are low enough that when they do find him, dozier will get MPK down. Shox does manage to get revenge. But that was an impressive shot from dozier. I'd love to have seen that one. That was pretty good. But here we go, though. Match point, 15-3. And I don't think... Yeah, I don't think HellRaisers can really afford anything. We've got Mag 7s in there. We got FAMASes. We got Scout. And dozier back on the Deagle.
Back on the Deagle, actually spending most of his cash there on grenades, incendiary, smoke, flash, so at least got that a little bit to work with, but Envy definitely got a big advantage in terms of arsenal at this point, and there is the first man spotted up on top of the train, basically dancing around, trying to play with the movement, but they're falling like dominoes here. Only the scout kill coming in there at the back, but that'll be quickly dealt with, and now Angel with a swag 7, not quite as cool as it may have looked there in the end, and that will be victory, 16 rounds to 3.
So history repeats itself. It was 16-3 the other day. I think that was in Face It. Yeah, it was on Face It on Monday. And it's 16-3 again for enVyUS. So twice running, they've spanked HellRaisers on trains. So definitely got the better of them there. HellRaisers need to get their drawing board out and maybe figure out the tactics on train a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that winning pistol, losing round 2 really just throws you off your game anyway, both money-wise, obviously, and, you know, the whole psychological effect of thinking, yeah, we started T-side since we lost knife and we just won pistol. That's a fantastic start for us, and then you get shot by Smiths with a scout 3 or 4 times and then finished off by the rest of the team. So a little bit of a tough game there for HellRaisers. As we mentioned earlier on, they really need victories. Envy themselves sat mid pack, I guess we can call it.
You should also look at, you know, when you're running a guy with 120 ping, like, you know, sure, ping's not everything, but it kind of helps. It kind of helps. It's a big difference, especially when it's at 120 and everybody else is playing at 20 or 30. That's a problem.
Yeah, especially when, you know, the caliber these guys play at, like that fraction of a second can actually make a really, really big difference. Well, guys, that was only, of course, our first game of the day. We've got another 4 coming your way. Next up will actually be the top of the table clash. That is going to be Navi versus TSM. We'll be on Inferno, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to bring you that game.